in general, someone could find that they have the tendency to spend time with others and very little time by themselves. And along with this, they could also find that they have always, or more or less always, been in a relationship. And so as soon as one ends, they could soon find someone else to be with. And most likely this is something that will just take place automatically. And so being by themselves is going to be something that they will want to avoid. And if they were to spend even a small amount of time by themselves, they could end up experiencing a lot of anxiety and even fear. And they could feel as though their life is going to come to an end. And if they were to get to the stage where they have had enough of living in this way, because this may mean that they have been in a number of relationships that are not very healthy, and they may have the tendency to lose themselves. Because of course, out of their need to avoid being alone, they're not going to be too discerning, and they won't want to express who they are for the fear that they will be left. And at this point, it could be said that they have a fear of being abandoned. And it will then be necessary for them to change their faulty thinking and negative beliefs, because of course now that they are an adult, they can't really be abandoned. Of course, people can leave them, but as they're not a child or an infant or a toddler, they can't really be abandoned. And also, as they are an adult, they should feel comfortable being by themselves. Because if they are unable to feel comfortable being by themselves, then they won't be able to truly connect to another. Because as I said, they will lose themselves either in a relationship or when they are with friends out of the fear of being left. However, although it may seem as though they just have a fear of being abandoned, there can be more to it. Because if they were to be alone and they were to embrace how they feel, they could find that they feel like an abandoned infant or toddler or child. And so what this will show is that they don't just have the fear of being abandoned, it will show that they have been abandoned. And so during their early years, practically from the moment they were born or perhaps later, they may have often been neglected, and this would have been a time when they felt helpless and hopeless and deeply alone, and as though their life was going to come to an end. But as they were unable to change their caregiver or their caregiver's behavior, or to find another family, they would have been forced to repress automatically how they felt and to go into a shut down state. And so this would have been deeply traumatizing, and they would have been abandoned throughout their developmental years. So as they're not just that they have the fear of being abandoned, they were abandoned. And so how they feel as an adult will be a reflection of what took place during their early years. So simply changing what is taking place in their mind, so changing their so-called faulty thoughts and beliefs, won't truly resolve what is taking place if they were actually abandoned throughout their early years. And so many, many years will have passed since they were a dependent child or infant or toddler, but the pain that they experienced will continue to be held inside their brain and body. So their nervous system, their organs, their muscles. So if you can relate to this and you can see that you find it hard to be by yourself, and when you are by yourself, you feel deeply alone and as though your life is going to come to an end and helpless and powerless, then please know that what took place wasn't your fault. You didn't deserve to be abandoned. Most likely your caregiver or caregivers were in a very bad way themselves and were also shut down, and perhaps they were also abandoned themselves, but as they were unable to deal with this pain for whatever reason, they ended up repeating the past. And so if you can relate to this, please reach out for the assistance that you need to gradually change your life. because although this may have caused you to feel as though you are inherently worthless and unlovable and are undeserving of being in a fulfilling relationship or having your needs met, please know that this is not the truth. There is nothing inherently wrong with you, and you deserve to live a fulfilling life. So please don't suffer in silence and reach out for the assistance that you need to gradually change your life. If you would like to find out more about the services that I offer, please go to www.oliverjrcooper.co.uk or email me at info@oliverjrcooper.co.uk, and I'm looking forward to assisting you on your journey.